All right, we were previously discussing, or previously covered most of what's going on here in the Draw panel of your Home tab. We're now going to move on to basic modification tools, but before we do that, we need to draw a few items, obviously. So I'm just going to create a rectangle. And I'm just going to make it longer than it is tall. Now, the basics of the move command are pretty simple. We all know what it is to move something. We want to pick it up from one place, relocate it to another place. In AutoCAD, we'll either click on the icon, or we can type M of the command prompt to press the space bar, which amounts to the same thing. We will select our objects. Now, anytime we're using a command, AutoCAD is going to assume that when we're selecting objects, that we are continuing to select objects until we explicitly tell AutoCAD we're done. So I only have one object in the drawing, and I only have one object that I can move. AutoCAD is still asking, select some objects to move. I say, I'm done. I will push return, and it tells AutoCAD I'm done, at least selecting objects. At this point, it says specify base point. And what this means is, where are we moving this object from? We can click somewhere here in outer space. We can select on the object itself if we want to move it from a known and established position, or we can select in outer space. Right now, I'm just going to click in outer space. And just like when we're creating a line or a circle or anything like that, just as in an entity creation, we can drag our cursor in the direction we want to move it, and we can type in the number of units that we wish to move it along that angle. So right now I'm just going to drag my cursor to the right, and I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 4.5 units, but I'm going to manually specify 5 units by typing 5 and then pushing the space bar. And now AutoCAD has moved this object exactly 5 units to the right. To reverse that process, I'll start my command. Incidentally, AutoCAD remembers the last command you were using. When you complete a command, if you push the space bar or push enter a second time immediately after the command is stopped, AutoCAD will assume you want to start the same command over again. So simply by pushing enter at the end of the move command, AutoCAD is going to start the move command all over again. And it's asking me to select my objects. And I could either click on the object directly, or I can click out and nothing to the left-hand side of the object that I want, and I can enclose the entire object inside a window. Alternately, I can use a lasso by dragging around to the starting on the left-hand side to the right-hand, and moving to the right-hand side. If I hold my left mouse button down, and as you see, if not all of the object is inside that lasso window, it will not be selected. Alternately, I can start on the right hand side, and if I hold down my mouse button, then I have a crossing lasso. Any object that crosses that dashed line, where that green infill is partially covering the element, any object will be included. Alternately, if I left click and release and then just drag my mouse to the right, or to the left rather, I don't have my mouse clicked at this point, it's a crossing window. Any object that crosses the green and that dashed line will be included in my selection set. I'm done selecting my objects. I push the space bar. I tell AutoCAD where I want to move this from, and in this case, I want to move from the midpoint of this line segment to the midpoint of that line segment. And you can see, because my cursor is indicating those little green triangles and it says midpoint, I know I can select those objects just by clicking there. Left click and release, and drag, and it remembers, even though you're actively moving the current object, you can still snap on elements of that object, because it technically hasn't been moved yet. This is a live preview. And then we will left click again, and the move command is done. So there's move. One additional way to move an object is when you highlight your object, leave your mouse directly over or leave your cursor directly over the object, left click and hold your left mouse button, and you can drag this element around. However, you lose all precision on angle and direction. At this point, you can't tell it move it 10 inches to the left or 3 inches up. It just will go. It will keep you in this drag mode until you let go of your mouse button. It has its uses. It's not as accurate as we would like, though. So that's the move command. The next item down on the list is copy, and it does pretty much what we think, with one exception. Copy in AutoCAD is not like copy in Word. It's not a copy-paste. This is something that is specific inside AutoCAD. Copy-paste does work inside AutoCAD, but this is a different command. This is the copy command in AutoCAD, and this dates way back to the days before AutoCAD ran on Windows. Now, incidentally, the shortcut key for move is M, and the shortcut key for copy is CO. C is already taken by circle. So if I can start a circle using the icon as always, but I can also type C at the command prompt and push return, and I'm instantly drawing a circle. So if I type CO at the command prompt and push return, now I'm in the copy command. Once again, I will select my objects. I only want this one object selected for now. I'm done selecting my objects. I will press return or press the space bar. And I want to copy this object from the center to each one of these 4 corner points. So I'll start here in the center of the circle. Now again, this is making a copy, and all I'm doing is left clicking. And you can see with that green square that shows up, that will rubber band snap sort of like a magnet. It will locate the center directly of my newly created circle, a newly copied circle, directly on the endpoint, even though my mouse isn't precisely on it. It's a way to gain some added precision. Now, AutoCAD will continue copying with every single left click until I tell AutoCAD that I'm done. So to tell it I'm done, I will push return, or I'll press the space bar. So there you go. That's the basics of the copy command.